My flatmate, an upper caste Muslim, is hands down the most inconsiderate person I've ever met. We both owe 2,700 rupees each to our house help for cooking, cleaning and doing the dishes, a total of 5,400 rupees. But in January, I ended up covering the full amount because he kept stalling. February came and it was the same story. When I pressed him for his share, he straight up admitted that he was purposely delaying the payment. His reason? He didn't like her work and wanted her to suffer for not keeping the place up to his standards. I was stunned. She was practically begging for her money. And I couldn't just ignore it, so I paid for February too. Mind you, his so-called cleanliness issues didn't stop him from inviting his friends over almost every weekend. Late night parties wrecked the living room and kitchen, and their blasting music completely threw off my sleep. Yet somehow, he pinned all the mess on her. In early March, the house help informed us she'd be going home for 20 days starting April 1st. I left for home on March 29th and told him to pay her March salary since I had already covered the previous 2 months. He left for home on March 31st without paying her a single rupee. She called me, confused and desperate, asking for her money. I tried reaching him, but he straight up ghosted me. Calls went unanswered and WhatsApp messages were left unread. Finally, on April 1st, he replied, saying his phone had been off and that he'd pay her when he returned. Both of us came back on April 3rd and started looking for a new maid, but he still hadn't cleared her dues. On April 20th, she showed up at the flat asking for her money. He promised to pay her on May 1st after he got his salary, but she insisted on April 25th. The very next day, she returned, this time with the police and society security. The cops instructed him to pay her soon. After they left, he flipped out, bragging that he wasn't scared of the police and shouting,
गांड फाड़ देगा उनकी.
He swore he wouldn't give her a single rupee. The maid came back on April 23rd, 24th and 25th. And every time I had to deal with her because he conveniently wasn't home. On April 25th, she'd had enough and said she'd call the police again. True to her word, the cops and security showed up, warning him to stop delaying. After they left, I suggested he just borrow from someone to end the mess, but he refused. Instead, he tried to guilt me into paying again, and I did. I didn't want any trouble, especially after going through a crucial job interview. A police case would have ruined everything. Now, he's suddenly scrambling for cash because he's moving to a new flat. Apparently, when it's about his own comfort, money magically appears. And the most disgusting part, he's blatantly casteist. He kept calling her a chamar and sneering that this was the aukat of these people just because she asked for her rightful salary. It's not just the money, it's the cruelty and entitlement. Some people really are just rotten to the core.